May makita ra ang presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Confirm lang. Okay, sige. So first off, good morning, classmates. Good morning, Ma'am Nikki. Today we are going, along with Miss Aiko Rubio, we're going to report all about discipline and emotional control. But before that, I'm going to share our learning objectives. Okay. So by the end of this discussion or at the end of this presentation, you, the learners, will be able to identify, develop, demonstrate, and comprehend. Okay. You will be able to identify what type of discipline is appropriate to be applied in a child's certain behavior. And then you will be able to develop a strategy on how to discipline a child. You will be able to demonstrate ways to control your emotions, not just your emotions, actually, also a child's emotion or anyone's emotions. And then you will be able to comprehend the difference between disciplining and controlling one's emotion. Okay, so first I'm gonna discuss about discipline. So what is discipline, by the way? Okay, I'm gonna share one quote first from Jim Rohn. So discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. So why is that so? Ngano nakaingon man si Jim Rohn nga bridge daw siya between goals and accomplishments. Anyone can answer? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, wala. It is because discipline is to study, to learn, train, and apply a system of standards. So through discipline DI, we are being taught to follow the right choices or kanang mga right things to do bitaw kung unsay mga saktong buhaton. No, you cannot achieve your goal. Diba? You cannot achieve your goal if permi sayop imuha mga decision sa kinabuhi, 'di ba? So, in other words, goals and success depends on the right decisions you make. And para makabuhat ka sa right decisions, um, we go over first through discipline. Pinaagi sa pagdisiplina, mabuhat na itong mga right decisions, and through right decisions, ma-achieve na to itong goal. So, ang root cause jud sa itong goals is the discipline. Okay, again, discipline is a choice, your choice. It is the decision, better yet, all your decisions, right decisions in specific. So, here, what is not a discipline? Unsa day na ang disiplina, unsa day dili disiplina? Kay sometimes ma-misunderstood nato ang word nga discipline, no? So discipline is not rules, regulations, or punishment. It is not compliance, obedience, or enforcement. So I'm going to give a sample scenario, no? For example, imong mama gi sugo ka to fix your bed when you get up, no? Igbangon nimo, fix your bed jud. So dili wala ka na disiplina kung imo ra na siyang gibuhat tungod kay gisugo ra ka. But madisiplina ka kung imo na siyang gibuhat every day. Because again, when we say discipline, it is to study, learn, train. You train yourself on doing it every day because you know that that is the right thing to do. Okay? So discipline is not something others do to you. Meaning, kanang mga sugo bitaw or rules and regulations, it is something you do for yourself. It's the application. Again, apply a system of standards. It's the application, following the rules. No, you can receive instruction or guidance from one or many sources, but the source of discipline is not external. It is internal. It is within you because you're the one who follows the rules or the commands, mga sugo sa imuha para adto ka sa right path bitaw, kuan ka sa right decisions. Okay, discipline is not obedience to someone else's standards to avoid punishments. Again, just what I said nga wala nimo buhatang usa ka butang tungod kay gisugo lang ka para dili ka makasab-an. It is learning and applying intentional standards to achieve meaningful objectives because you know from yourself na mao nay saktong buhaton. Okay, last, I'm going to share a quote. Discipline is helping a child save a problem. Punishment is making a child suffer for having a problem. Let's say ang bata nagsigig hilak niya wala ka kay nga no. Of course, you have to ask him. You have to approach unsay problema instead of imo lang kalitan og kusi no. So it's just an addition to suffering. Naghilak na gani imo pag yung kusion. 'Di ba? So lahi ra gyud ang discipline. Here we discourage physical kuan bitaw, physical punishments, more on sa behavior ta emotional approach. Okay, next will be the four parts to discipline. What are the four parts to discipline a child in specific? Okay, to correct immediate behavior, to teach a lesson, give tools to build self discipline, and to build relationships. So again, I'm going to share a scenario. For example, ang bata nagtantrum sa Toy Kingdom. Toy Kingdom atong setting ha. How do we correct the behavior? How do we teach him a lesson? What tools can we give? And how are we going to build the relationship? Okay, to correct immediate behavior, immediate agaran nga solusyon bitaw, take your child to a restroom or unpopulated corner of the store. Of course, di ka ganahan mauwawan siya, no? Wala, ang bata nagsihig-hilak. Ngano ka na siya. Sa may gibuhat sa inahan, no? Manigibuhat. So, immediate. When we say immediate, agaran. So, imo siya ibutang sa restroom or any unpopulated area nga wala makakita. And dito na siya nimo storyahon. To teach a lesson. For example, you can't have everything you want. You need to express your emotions appropriately. Yeah, you can't have everything you want. Like for example, imo ingnon ang bata, you can choose anything you want, but you cannot choose all you want. So there's a difference. So that is something that na-lesson nga makuha ang bata ana. So okay, what tools? Help the child write a list of toys that she wants but can't have right now. So, before pa lang mo moadto sa Toy Kingdom pa, andama na lang siya lista kung unsay ang gustong paliton o unsay mga later na lang nga paliton sa sunod balik na lang. And to build relationship, demonstrate leadership, understanding, and patience. So basically, it's a combination of these three. Excuse me. So it's a combination of these three. Demonstrate leadership, ikaw jud ang masunod. Understanding, of course, you have to understand ang iyang bati. You don't have to invalidate the child's feelings. No? Kung naghilak siya, meaning na siya, he's sad because dili siya kapalit sa iyang gusto and patience, of course. Di ni mo i-punish dayon ang bata. It takes lots of patience Jud in handling a child. So, sabtan na siguro, no? So next, I'm going to discuss about the types of child discipline. So here we have 5 types. Positive discipline, gentle discipline, boundary-based discipline, behavior modification, and emotion coaching. Again, I'm going to give you another scenario para lang dyan ma-elaborate na ako, no, ang types of discipline and how are we going to apply this in this setting. Okay, sample scenario. A 6-year-old refuses to do his homework. Di siya ganahan magbuhat sa iyang assignment. Okay, how are we going to apply positive discipline? So, first, what is positive discipline? Okay, positive discipline is based on praise and encouragement. Praise and encouragement, imong i-praise ang bata. Okay, parents teach problem-solving skills and work with their children to develop solutions. Positive discipline uses family meetings. This is a home setting ha. It can be in the classroom setting or sa imong trabahoan nga setting, no? And an authoritative approach to addressing behavior problems. So for example, I know your teacher wants you to get your math paper done tonight and you don't want to do it. What can we do to get that paper done? So ang keyword here is what can we do? By asking this, ma ma moandar ang utok sa bata unsa may mga possible solutions, no? Mahasa iyang problem solving skills kay maghuna-huna man siya kung unsay angay buhaton. Like pwede unya na lang inig mo magpanihapon ma or kanang iguman na lang nako nap ana ugma na lang iguman sa akong project. So na siya moandar yang utok baka nang makahuna-huna siya og mga possible solutions para lang mahuman iyang assignment. So that is positive discipline. Okay? Next would be gentle discipline. Here we are applying humor. Imong joke ka ng bata. Karang para lang ma-lift up bitaw ang emotion. So here's by definition, gentle discipline focuses on preventing problems. Okay, redirection is often used to steer kids away from bad behavior. So imo siyang joke-jokean para lang ma-lift up yung emotion, di na siya kuan masad, di na siya masuko. Okay? Kids are given consequences, but gentle discipline isn't about instilling shame, di mo pakauwawan. Instead, parents often use humor and distraction. The focus of gentle discipline is about parents managing their own emotions while addressing a child's behavior. When we say managing their own emotions, meaning um it has to do something with more patience. No? Okay, for example, would you rather write a two-page paper explaining why you didn't want to do your math tonight? Write a two-page paper daw just to explain. So that is clearly a joke. For example, another example, okay? Kisa may mong pabuhaton ani mo assignment ato ero. So through jokes, lift up ang emotion sa bata. So that is gentle discipline. Next would be boundary-based discipline. It has to do more with setting limits. Okay? Boundary-based discipline focuses on setting limits and making the rules upfront. Kids are then given choices, and there are clear consequences for misbehavior. For example, okay, you won't be able to use any of your electronics tonight until your work is done. Kung di nimo buhaton yung mga assignment, karon wala kay baon ugma. So that is setting limits, na consequence, na condition ba. Okay, but this has to do more with bad behavior. Okay, but here on behavior modification, atong hibaon ang good behavior and bad behavior, no? Focuses on positive and negative consequences. Good behavior is reinforced with praise or rewards. And then misbehavior is discouraged by ignoring and negative consequences like the loss of privileges. Okay, for example, remember once you get your homework done, kung mahuman imo assignment karon, pwede ka makagamit sa computer for 30 minutes. That is an example of um a good behavior kinahuman niya yung assignment. But again, balik sa boundary based, if dili niya human niya yung assignment, na consequence gihapon, wa kay bound ugma. Yeah? We have to modify whether it's good or bad. And then let's proceed to emotion coaching. Emotion coaching is a five-step discipline process that focuses on teaching kids about their feelings. We have to recognize their emotions. Are they sad? Are they angry? Are they having anxiety? You know? So when kids understand their feelings, kung makasabot na sila sa ilang gibati, they can verbalize them rather than act on them. Kids are taught that their feelings are okay. It's valid. We should not invalidate their feelings. And parents help teach them appropriate ways to deal with their emotions. Okay, for example, I know it makes you sad that you can't play because you have to do your homework. Let's draw how you feel when you do your math homework. Okay? Let's say ang bata kay frustrated ka ay naglagot kay di siya kasabot lagi, di ko ganahan mo buhat ang assignment mo kay ko kasabot. So, okay, let's draw. O pag kuris-kuris di ako naglagot ka. Or do you want to punch something? For example, another scenario, okay, nag-away ang duha ka bata. Kasumbagon na kaayo. Imong gibadlong, ay sumbaga ang bata of day unlan, ari pagsumbag-sumbag, ari pagawas imuhang kalagot. So that is something, that is one tool to, coach a child's behavior or emotions. Okay, so I hope nasabtan ra. So I can proceed to emotional control. Human ako sa discipline now. Let's go to emotional control. Okay, first, what is emotional control? By definition, emotional control is the ability to identify and regulate your emotions and respond in a socially tolerable and flexible way, and also have a certain level of control over spontaneous reactions. So it's basically controlling your emotions. If you're sad, di ka maghagulhol, no? Outside, pwede ra ka mutago sa room and cry. So that is controlling one's emotion. Okay? Emotional control encompasses both positive and negative emotions. So dili lang di ay negative emotions ang need na to i-control. Even if we're super happy, super excited, needs na to i-control ang ato ang emotion, no? Kay kanang dapat naaayon bitaw sa lugar. One example is I'm going to share a video, okay, as an example of a positive emotion but still needed to be controlled. I hope basta tanan, naka-watch. Okay, so that is a best example of a positive emotion. She's so happy. That was Miss Philippines, Samantha Bernardo, no? She's very happy nga to the point nga iyan naggihapak-hapak si I don't know that maybe that's Miss USA. Iyan naggihapak-hapak. No, but which is very inappropriate because that is happening on a live television. So I think she has to control her emotions not to do that. She has to be very elegant, concise on that because live television good. So atoy butang sa lugar dili kay mura ra kag naa sa balay, 'di ba? Okay. However, na nakalagay diri, however, it usually refers to attempts by an individual to manage the generation, expression, or experience of particularly disruptive emotions and impulses that can have negative consequences. For example, let's say police na anger issues, di siya ka-control sa anger. So iyang gibunot yung pusil and then bang. Okay, that resulted hinuon to negative consequences. So that is an example lang. This is thought to be done through use of cognitive and behavioral strategies. Cognitive, when we say cognitive, it's mental. Of course, you have to think before you act. And behavioral strategies by acting behavior, no? Okay, next would be the 8 primary emotions. I'm just sharing this para natay kung ano idea unsay primary emotions. And aside from primary emotions, napagid ay secondary, tertiary, which is a combination na for your kung ano lang idea lang. First will be joy. It is a state of satisfaction and well-being. Sadness, this is a bit self-explanatory naman siguro. Sadness, it is mainly a state of despondency. It requires social support. Anger, our way of responding to an act of offense. May offended ka, so musukod ka. Anticipation, the expectations we create for ourselves. Fear. It is the uncertainty we feel when we create expectations about something we believe will harm us. Okay, that madlok ka. Trust is the position we take in a subjective way when we believe that there is no harm or damage in a situation after an action. Surprise, the way we react when something unexpected happened to us. That's surprise. And then aversion. Through this emotion, we express our will of rejection or that we want to avoid something or someone. Sample words under aversion is kanang distaste, bitaw, disgust, kanang wala ka kauyon. So, nganong gi-share na ko primary emotions, we have to, know primary emotions for us para may bawta unsay angay buhaton if a child is sad, if a child is anger, imo siya pasumbagon sa unlan, if he's sad, imo siyang ibutang sa kwarto adto hilak. So naay appropriate ways depending on his emotion, how to handle the emotion. Okay, so next, under emotional control will be 4 steps to teaching children how to control emotions. Okay, first, recognize the root emotions. Second, redirect toward a positive response. Rethink the difficult scenario. And then practice emotional control. Okay, what is recognizing the root emotions? Help kids recognize the source of these emotions to help them learn to be aware of their feelings. Okay, for example, ni-share ang bata ni mo, giingnan ko niya batikog now. So nasad siya or may may halong kalagot siguro. So you have to tell him, okay, you're sad. Are you sad about it? Are you angry about it? So para ma-learn niya ba unsa jud iyang gibati, no? You have to help him recognize his emotions. Redirect toward a positive response. So the goal here is to interrupt the surge of emotions by changing location or focusing on a positive or even just a neutral activity. Okay, maingnon ang bata, dali rago dali pugnganti ka para mahap sa iyang kuan ba. Andili atubang sa samin. Okay, para ma-lift up iyang emotion. Okay, rethink the difficult scenario. Again, okay, identify and examine child's thoughts. Okay, now karon na mong naka, namulbos na ka. Okay, do you think you're still ugly? Do you think he's right? Mutuo day ka nga batikag na mutuo day ka sa iyang gisulti. So you to rethink mo ana din ng bata di mo ko bating now perfect imong ipon. You have a nose, you have a eyes. So you have to rethink kung tinuod ba or dili ang gisulti sa iya ha. Okay, practice emotional self-control, recognize, redirect, and rethink. It's a combination of these three. So mag-practice-practice lang ka, imo siyang hatagan og scenario. What if ingnon ka sa kuan nga wa kay ayo ana mutuo sa day ka, tinuod di ay. What if ingnon kang bugo ka, mutuo ka. O imuhang kuan, imuhang English kay naka 92 man gani ka, so bugo day ka. So those are steps to control one's emotion. Okay? So I hope uh sabtan na no. Okay, so now I'm going to proceed to immaturity, a child's relative immaturity, no? So, what are the signs of immaturity sa bata niya of a child? So, signs of immaturity, there are two types. Sa younger kids o older kids, of course, ang batasan sa usa ka bata na ayon jud na sa ilang edad, no? Okay? So, for younger kids, it's been okay. They need a little extra attention or help to do things her peers will do independently. Being less physically coordinated than other children her age. Again, it's age appropriate jud ni ang kuan, ang signs of immaturity. Becoming easily upset or overwhelmed or having trouble calming herself down when things don't go her way. Struggling to adapt to new concepts in school, being physically smaller or less developed than other kids her age, and hanging back or avoiding activities that are new or challenging. When we say younger kids, just um ignore na lang ng icon, no? When we say younger kids, mga around 1 to 7 years old siguro ni, and older kids are preteen, like from 8 to 12 years old. Okay? So older kids, age inappropriate interests. For example, a preteen who's still watching a Paw Patrol. So, a Paw Patrol is for ages 4 to 6. And then he's 12 already and nagtanaw gyapon siya og Paw Patrol. So that is a sign of immaturity. Social awkwardness, discomfort with new social relationships like dating or unsupervised group hangouts. Like at 12 years old or 13 years old, masugod na may crush no, but siya wala lang kanang wala ra na siya, wa siya paki, dili siya interested sa mga nga nga topic, okay? Rigidity or unwillingness to try new things. Being grossed out by conversations about sex and sexuality, like bayot, nga na bayot, bayot na siya. Mm. Okay, being less physically developed than his peers, like nganong payatot makani siya gamay gamay man siya, no? So difficulty adapting to new academic challenges because para niya plus minus ra gyud enough na dili na importansya ang geometry, ang uban topics, subtopics sa math. So, mo na siya signs of immaturity. So, how are we going to help child become more mature? So, ato sa tabangan no ang usa ka bata para mahimo siyang mature nga naayon sa iyang edad. Okay? Here are ways. Encourage thoughtful and deliberate decision making. Of course, mo kuan gyapon sana ma-apply gyapon nato ang disiplina ani. Teach children how to handle frustration in a constructive way. So it has to deal with emotional control. Provide opportunities for your child to practice taking responsibility. Praise your child when they take responsibility for their actions and show maturity. And set a good example. Setting a good example always starts at home. No, makita gini as sa ilang parents, sa ilang siblings, sa ilang lola, lolo. So you always have to set a good example. Okay, so what are the benefits of maturity in children? So nasa they need benefits, no? Okay, so it would be um they are able to better understand and cope with difficult emotions. Difficult emotions like uncontrollable emotions na kanasuko na gid kaayo. Lami na jud kay ihapak, lami na kay isumbag, no? Usahay sa mga adults pa, lami na kay ipatay. But of course, since adults kay bao naman mo control sa emotions, di ka na nato mabuhat. They can also develop stronger relationships both with their peers and with adults. If they know how to control their emotions, kay bao na sila unsay saktong buhaton, then they build stronger relationships na. Okay, they may become more independent and responsible, of course. As they mature, children are able to better navigate the challenges of life because we teachers, parents, we always guide them to the right path, 'di ba? Through discipline and emotional control. So through this, mahasa sila no to better navigate the challenges. And then lastly, they gain a greater sense of confidence and self-assurance na yes, sakto ni akong gibuhat, dili ni sayop. Okay, dili ko batingnaw such as kanang mga kuan bitaw, mga scenarios bitaw nga dili ka sure. Now you have the confidence nga sure jud ka, nga sakto ka, nga di ka batingnaw, nga di ka bugo. So those are the benefits of maturity in children. Okay, so next would be discussed by Miss Aiko Rubio, behavior. Ma'am, naa ka diha, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start about behavior na, ma'am, ha?
Yes, ma'am. Sige, ma'am.
Okay.
So, good morning, everyone. So, my topic is all about the common inappropriate behavior. So, my example is about the behavior of children. So, first is the behavior of children is breaking serious rules such as running away, staying out at night when told not to, or skipping school. And then second is being aggressive in a way that causes harm, such as bullying, fighting, or being cruel to animals. Then third is lying, stealing, or damaging other people's property on purpose. So sa mga bata gyud inana man gyud na namang gyud ng mga away-away sa mga bata. Then naasa na ang bullying, namang gyud na sa mga bata ang bullying, namang is dagko. So
Let me know lang, ma'am, ha, if kanang next slide na ta.
sige ma'am.
Okay. So next slide.
Yes, ma'am. So in case if this happens, we have to avoid this. So first is do not allow the behavior to continue. Second is avoid making it a class issue. Address only the student who is causing the disruption. And third is avoid an argument or shouting match. Then fourth, do not blame or ridicule the student or use sarcasm. Five, do not touch the student. So naman gyud na sa rules no nga dili gyud nato mahilabtan ang student, dili gyud nato makusi or maunsa diha kay naman gyud na siya punishment. So i-address lang nato sa student kung kinsa to ang nakasa, din ato na lang paminaw na ilang side para ma-clear ang tanan o para mahusay. Then so what to do in this situation? So mao na niya akong giingon. Number 1 is stay calm and listen to students' concerns. Be steady, consistent, and firm. Then third, acknowledge the feelings of the individual. Then fourth, remember the disruptive behaviors is often caused by stress or frustration. Then address the disruption individually, directly, and immediately. Then the last is be specific about the behavior that is disruptive and set limits. So mao gyud na siya no, i-acknowledge lang nato ang feelings sa tao, magbasig na sobrang ra sa nato og istorya. Dato lang sad i-minimize ang atong baba. Then kibaw naman ta nga kana nga behavior is kuara na siya. Cause na sa na-stress ba na siya sa iyang unsa ba sa trabaho or whatsoever. Frustration ba or frustration siguro ni gugma. Then sige ma'am.
So maora to, ma'am. That's the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you ma'am. Maora to siya ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so Miss Andales and Miss Rubio is now done with the discipline and emotional control. So at this morning, it's very important for us to discipline our child or children in order for them to grow a very good citizen in our country, since the younger generation is the future of our land. So we can now differentiate the discipline, unsa man ang non-discipline. We can also identify how to control the emotion, how to do it to kanang dili gani siya nga modugay nga maanad ang usa ka individual. So as we heard from Andales that discipline, it is the rule following behavior. So when the child has no discipline, automatically that individual will grow without discipline. And having discipline in our family, inside the family, is very important in order for them that they will grow more controlled. And of course, they will follow orders and regulations in order for them to be aware that their action or their behavior is not in a good not in a good order, or we are also taught for them to control their behavior. And as my research about anong kinahanglan matay discipline, who can answer one? Why is it important for the children or for us, an individual, to have discipline, and what is the relationship with that in the emotional control?
Naana sa amo ang conclusion, ma'am, sa learning element.
Who can answer? Who is raising? Kasi na nag-raise hand. See. Wait. Okay. Ikaw to Miss Andales.
Ako ra gihapon. Naron ta ko'y puno, but mo na day na kanang
Sige,
conclusion.
Miss, please, you can expound about
Yeah.
it.
As a conclusion lang di ay sa mo ang report no about discipline, emotion, and control. And how are they related silang tulo? Okay, discipline is the stepping stone in teaching a child how to control his emotions in order to help attain relative maturity as they grow. So that is the conclusion. That is how they are related to each other. Maturity, discipline,
Okay.
and emotional control. Mora to,
Very
ma'am.
good. Very good. So it is very important because they are related with each other. If the child has a discipline, of course, naagid siya good emotional control. And then if naa siya good emotional control, that child will grow successfully. So just like as your example earlier that the child, example mo adto sa toy kingdom, you have to tell the child without a punishment or inflict. You have to tell the child nga mao lang ni ang iyang buhaton or unsa iyang gustong buhaton, so naala siya guidelines kung unsa iyang buhaton. Just like before when I have a kanang akong bata, she's only 5 years old. Yeah, I am not used to bring a child in a crowd area, especially kanang mall or toy kingdom kay kabalo biya tanong nga ang child ganahan man gina sila sa mga nindot nga butang. But then I told her nga, okay, I will bring you for the first time in Toy Kingdom, but you have to put in your mind that you can only buy 2 things or 2 toys, but it will not cost like 1,000 or like 4 digits of the number. You can only stick to 3 numbers. And then she said yes. So when we were there, she's very busy looking to all the toys because I know that she's looking the 3 digits number only. And then after maybe 1 hour, she went back to me and she told me nga, I have here 2 toys, mama. This is not expensive because this has only 3 digits. So murag naara masiguro to sa mga tag 200, tag 300 kanang gagmay gani nga mga toys nga mga murag ilalang isud-sud nga mga shapes, barato ra man na siya. So at that moment, ako siyang I reflect in myself that a discipline is very important for us, especially for our little children, in order for them to follow the rules, the regulations, the order, in order for them to have a self-discipline. So, mao gyud na siya ang pinaka-importante nga naa gyud tay disiplina sa atong mga anak. Do not shout, no? Do not shout to them. Do not spank. Do not criticize. Do not embarrass them. Dili na to sila insultuhon. Why? As what the reporter said, the more you are giving them negative words, they will put in their mind that they are useless. Then mudako sila sa ilang self, mawala sila kanang they will not trust in their own self. They're only depending to others. So, do you have questions, classmates ninyo? Wala na?
None so far, ma'am.
And so far. So, how many people are in? There are 17, including me. So, I hope everyone is listening and everyone is having a good time with this wonderful topic this morning. It's all about the discipline and emotional control.